They lost game number 2
Yeah.
in surprising fashion, too. It was an emphatic victory by the Florida Panthers. One of the keys here, Linus Ullmark gave up a lot of goals in this game, but some of those goals came on egregious turnovers, goals they would want back.
Yeah.
Turnovers were a key to game 2. Are you concerned at all by what you saw from the Bruins, particularly in that category?
Yeah, I am a little bit. You know, Coach Jim Montgomery called it catastrophic, which I assume is a pun for the Panthers. But they had 15 turnovers last night. And as Montgomery said, players didn't make the best decisions at moments. I think it was just trying to make plays when plays weren't there to be made. That tells you they're forcing things. That tells you that the Panthers may be forcing them into mistakes. I got to be honest with you, man. I was in Boston for both of these 2 games. The Boston Bruins were not the most dominant team on the ice in these 2 games. They had good periods. They had good stretches. But the Florida Panthers felt like a team that was very much in this series.
Yeah, and not only that, they led in hits. They were physical. In game 1, I believe every single player on the roster had at least 1 hit. So that's definitely a game plan.
Yeah.
I'm also sure that Jim Montgomery said, we need to change these turnovers, cut them out, right meow. What pressures are the Bruins facing given their record-setting year? Here's the thing, the Lightning were in this situation in 2019 where they got punched in the face in the series. Now the Bruins get punched in the face. How confident are you that they can rally from this and change their game plans?
Well, first of all, they have a guy, Nick Foligno, to remind them of the Lightning losing that series because he was on the other side of it. He was a Blue Jacket that year. But I talked to Taylor Hall about this, and Taylor Hall said, you know, they have discussed internally the pressure of greatness. You know, the fact that they are a team that could go wire to wire this season from being the best regular season team in the history of the sport to winning the Stanley Cup. And so we look at teams like the Oilers and the Leafs that have their pressures to win. This is a different flavor of pressure, man. This is the chance to be one of the best of all time in pro sports versus being a footnote, versus being a cautionary tale like the Lightning were. That's a lot of pressure, man. And I felt like they felt it in those first 2 games. They were tight. They were tight.
It's crazy that this is a pressure that built through the regular season, right?
Yeah.
They didn't have this expectation or pressure at the start of the year. This built. They earned this pressure.
So you're saying they shouldn't have put the pedal down to try to set those records? Because if they were just a really good team that won the President's Trophy, that's garden variety, baby. We have those every year. There's something different because they put the pedal down and went for those records.
Yeah, I mean, and playing players late in the season that might have needed some rest or some maybe injury concerns, precautionary, whatever the case may be.
I am slurping up the delicious schadenfreude of them going for the records, getting the records, and now being crushed by the expectations of the records.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
That is a mind meld right there. Outlook for Game 3 now as the series shifts to Florida.
Well, the big story, obviously, is the absence of Patrice Bergeron, and that remains the big story.
Speaking of players that played in the late stages of the year.
Right. So, you know, like, we don't know what his deal is. We know it's not an illness anymore. We know it's definitely an injury. He has skated before the Bruins practices on multiple days. As of this right now doing the show, we don't know if he's traveling to Florida. We don't know what his status is for Game 3. The bottom line, Arda, is that this is a guy who calms things down for the Bruins. He has been a leader behind the scenes while he's been injured, but he is a leader on the ice. And most importantly, the Boston Bruins in this series to the Florida Panthers right now, under 50% face-off winning percentage. What does Patrice Bergeron do better than anybody we've seen in the NHL?
Yeah.
Win face-off.
At
So
the dot.
his loss is being felt both spiritually and physically and definitely in the face-off circle.
So you mentioned the President's Trophy. Obviously the historic year, what you mentioned there about the weight and expectation. That does, let's be honest, the Florida Panthers felt it last year as well.
Yeah.
Right? There's always that. It's almost like a first overall pick in the draft. Like there's always an extra spotlight on you when you are the best regular season team in the NHL, no matter if you break records or not.
Yep.
Do you think that the Boston Bruins can reverse this curse?
I think they have the ability to, but I think we also have to remember that in the wild card era, the President's Trophy winner has been extra hurt and hindered by this format. I mean, we've not had a single President's Trophy winner make the Stanley Cup final. All but 2 of them lost in the second round. The last team to win the President's Trophy in a full 82-game season and win the Cup was the 07-08 Red Wings. The Blackhawks, of course, won it in 2013, but that was a 48-game season. The 2 teams that held the NHL record for the most wins in a season, the 95-96 Red Wings and the 18-19 Lightning, did not win the Cup. They did not win the Cup, Arda. So the Bruins are facing a pretty arduous path to begin with because of the bracket that they currently exist in, where they got to get past these pesky Panthers first and then face the winner of the Lightning Leaf series. But as you can see, being the best does not necessarily mean that you're going to end up the best at the end of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
The President's Trophy curse, huh? Well, that got us thinking.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.